I'm kicking off the episode in this format because I use this little audio recorder for all my videos because my internal mic on my camera is dookie. That being said, sometimes my brain don't work very well. So at some points throughout the day when I was recording this, I forgot to hit record. So disclaimer, some clips here are going to be voiceovers of me using my quadcast here instead, just so I can get a better audio out to you guys, because I literally can't stand the sound on my internal mic on my camera. However, to kick it off in this video, what I was going through in the first intro, or I guess the intro of this video, was explaining to you kind of an easier process, step by step, for powder coating for beginners, starting with painted materials. So if you have something that's thick in paint, the first step you want to do is, you know, get a paint stripper, let it soak, let it do its thing, and then scrape it off, brush it off, take a wire wheel to it, or whatever you got to do, and then dry it out. Put it in the sandblaster, get it blasted. Now, the title in this video has something to do with the learning curve of powder coating, because there's actually a huge problem I ran into in this video that you will be seeing later. So it turned from for beginners to, make sure you avoid this mistake, really. At first, I was kind of really disappointed, and I was just super overwhelmed when I was doing this video. It's just been a long week, that's all, no big deal. Really excited to share this learning curve for you guys, because it's gonna help actually a lot to avoid making these kinds of mistakes, and then on top of that, understanding the equipment you're working with. With that out of the way, we're moving on to step 2 in this video. It's worth mentioning to get your oven set to 400 degrees. And this is a really nice oven that I bought for 40 bucks, I think. 40 or 50 bucks. I don't know. It's stainless steel. It's a small oven, but it'll work. We're actually going to take, before it gets hot. Oh, God. This is actually supposed to be like a wall oven. Just a heads up. And I had to custom make this connector for it. And to be fair, I'm not an electrician, so I just kind of plugged in these wires and hope for the best, and I somehow got it to work. So yeah, the next step, preheat your oven. And if you have to wire it yourself, just, I don't know, pray. Right here is where I kind of talked about with working with painted material, and I was having a conversation with my dog because, well, my dog lives with me. Anyway, so I'm trying to scrape it off. The paint stripper that I bought actually worked really well. I was trying to let it soak, but I didn't buy enough to really let it soak, so I just kind of poured it on. My next process, if I do work with painted material, I am just going to get a metal bucket dedicated for it and just kind of buy a lot and just fill it up and let it soak. If I wouldn't say big pieces like this, but remotely big pieces like this. The paint stripper worked really well, and my nose itched right there. And yeah, this didn't get all of it off too. That was the other concern of like not having a big enough bucket, or not a big enough bucket, but enough of the paint stripper to pour onto it. Again, I don't have all necessary tools and everything I need like that. Like this calls for just using a paintbrush and just lather it on there. I don't have any paintbrushes at the house. I don't do painting or anything like that. Turned on my air compressor because I forgot to turn it on. And yeah, so next time that's what I'll do, is I'll either let it soak or get a paintbrush, and we'll try to figure out ways to make it more efficient than it actually was right here. Also, pro tip, don't wear metal cutting gloves, get actual rubber gloves for this process. The paint actually ended up bleeding through my gloves, and now my hands are like solid red. So that's going to be fun to deal with all week. I feel really defeated. So I'm trying to start something with nothing, and the problem I'm running into is like stuff like this. That's like, I mean, it's got heavy paint. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but spots like right there where it's super caked up, right there. It's like super caked up. For the most part, I could probably just peel it all off and then finish sanding it, but it's taking so fucking long. The paint stripper worked. The sandblaster works. It doesn't work great. It keeps getting clogged up, but I know that the problem with that is because of the humidity, and the moisture building up inside of the air compressor for running it so long, and it has to keep fucking compressing the air, so it's always working. Realistically, if I had a better air compressor, this would probably run a lot better. But the problem I run into is this thicker stuff. When I get thick paint, I need to have this thing at like 100 psi is what I'm learning. I've used this thing a couple times. I've made a video before kind of demonstrating my first time using this, and every time I've used it I learned something new. So off camera I was also trying to fuck around with this, and I was hitting it up here. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but I was hitting it up here. You can see that I'm not fully getting through the paint, and this is like a solid painted surface. And then I started hitting spots. This was all rusted, and this ate right through it. This spot was rusted, ate right through it. There's another spot, oh, right here. There's another spot right here. This is all rust too, and just ate right through it. And you know, that's because, and this was all like at 40, 50 psi. I'm learning that this is gonna, what I am setting up for is I need to just work with material that isn't already painted, or work with stuff that's pretty much fully rusted out. However, I still got to powder coat something for this video, so we're still going to do that, but I don't think it's going to be any of this stuff that I have. So with that being said, I'm just wasting time, and I know it looks like I'm close, but I promise you, like it's not even. There's still so much work to do. Also, the reason why I'm just going to switch it up and do something is because I forgot I actually have material that's actually ready to go. It's clean, untouched, polish. I mean, it's solid. I might have to blast it because I don't know if there is any polish on it, but it's got to be bare. But that'll be easy because there's no paint. All I got to do is hit it real quick all the way around, and we're good to go. When I originally started my 240 build, like what, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago now, probably 4, but I've had this stainless steel pipe that I was going to use to build the intercooler, because at the time, that's when I was about first learning how to weld. And I was going to TIG weld it. And I started to practice on it. Made a lot of mistakes. And I forgot I just kept the leftover pieces for whatever reason. I mean, I fucking spent a lot of money on this fucking pipe. But that was back when I actually had money and I was rich, kind of. But this... yeah, this is like clean, solid material. It's dirty, but I guess I'm gonna sandblast it real quick. So we're gonna use this to powder coat now. Yeah, it should go a lot fucking smoother than trying to take something out that has a shit ton of paint. However, this is what I'm talking about here. So this is a clean, bare material, and now you can see this literally took me not even 5 minutes, not even 2 minutes really. Just blasted it down real quick, and we have this nice finish right here, and it's rough. It's a little rough, and that's what we want. So you can, hopefully on the camera, you can see the difference is that compared to that, which is, you know, new, shiny polish. And so with powder coating, the reason why you want it to be rough too is it sticks better. So I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and explain the science and everything behind it. All I know is it takes you ground it, and then when you shoot the powder, it comes out as a positive charge, which then sticks to this. And then when you have this type of finish on it, it adhesives. Holy shit! Almost fucked that word up. It adhesives a lot better. Basically, you'll get a better finished product, and you'll actually use less powder, so you'll be saving on a little bit of material there. Dude, that's that big ass wasp that scared the fucking piss. Oh, fuck you up. So I'm gonna finish blasting this, and then we're gonna get it hooked up and powder coat it.
All I'm doing here is more prep work. So blasting bare material allows powder to stick better, and also preheating it to at least 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And again, powder will just stick better to it, so you use less and get more. All right, so I started powder coating it. I had audio for this, but my air compressor just kept going off, so I'm just gonna voice over this. But I'm setting up the gun here and everything like that, making sure it all works. I keep messing with the reducer here on the tip of the gun just to kind of get a feel for it. Like I said, it's been a really long time since I've been powder coating. I tried to take it all the way off, and I ended up just blowing powder off. So I was like, oh well, I guess I'm putting that back on. But here I go. I'm just spraying it. About the thing that I learned in this little setup that I have, I don't have the best setup for what I have going on here. As you can see, I'm just hanging it, which it works. You got to be really careful and everything like that, but in the future I'm definitely going to be getting some sort of table, like open table I can hang from, so it hangs directly down, because I was running into an issue where it was almost touching and I didn't want to lose any powder. And here I'm just finishing up, so I'm just going around all the corners that I can't see with minimal light. So I have my flashlight out on my phone just to kind of make sure I'm hitting, you know, all the spots. Right here is where it's like, oh, I missed a lot right there. And so I'm just finishing it up, about to put it in the oven here soon. But the only real thing I learned from this was I just need better setup, better equipment. Really, that's what it's coming down to at this point. Is now it's just needing to get better tables, better equipment all the way around to make the job easier. Because this was legitimately pretty stressful to have to be very, like, super more careful than normal.
I can smell it. Let's take a look here, see what we got going on. Ooh, buddy. Damn. That's looking fucking good, dude. And that is looking pretty good. Honestly, with this though, I'd probably do a second coat. This is something I would probably do 2 coats on. But also only because I guess right now I'm working kind of in the dark when I started powder coating this, which my garage doesn't have the best lighting. So I got to fix that before I actually start doing this as work, or just do it in the daytime so I have direct, you know, daylight. This is definitely looking good though. Awesome. Worked out great. Nice that when I got a piece of material that wasn't all jacked up. Well, I know this was like kind of a entry level kind of video for y'all, but I also wasn't expecting to run into the issues I was running into. But that makes for a good learning. And even though I was legitimately losing some motivation during the whole thing, but after I took a break, I thought about it and I was like, you know, it is all a learning experience. So, you know, kind of learn the limits of the equipment I have to do what I can. So better that on myself than like if somebody had brought me some stuff of theirs that was, you know, painted already and they wanted to powder coat it, and yeah, you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna let this hang dry all night and everything like that, and then actually the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make this sign. So I'm still going to use that piece of material that I have down there. That's going to be turned into a small little sign. So with that, I'm going to get out of here. I learned a lot. Hopefully you learned some too. Hopefully you learned from that mistake. So if you're looking to get into it and you have bare minimum equipment like I do, you kind of know now what to avoid. So work with clean material, bare material, or just rusted material. Anything that isn't, you know, layers and layers of paint. And with that, I will see you guys all in the next episode. And I will see you guys all in my shorts. And you guys all have a good rest of the week, day, night, whatever it is for you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.